I'm going to ask you a question that Disney's Brave, the Princess Merida says. Do you believe in fate? So where do you stand on fate? I go back and forth about it. It's something that I'm not even sure of because you think about it. We have free will, but it's free will that we choose. So here is how I kind of see it: is that if there is fate, that we have free will, and that fate, as in they know, the deities, the gods know where we're going in the end, but it's our choices that lead us to where we're going, and that's how I see free will. That in fate, that if you want to call that fate, since they know, the gods know where we're going to end up, if you want to call that fate, then you can call it that, but I still see it as free will. On the flip side, though, you got, if you're in another religion and see it as fate, then it seems more like a cruel joke. Like, especially if you were into believing in punishment in the afterlife, if the god or goddesses that created you know that you're going to go to the equivalent of hell in the end, and they created you anyway, knowing that that's your destination, then why would they even bother creating you in the first place, other than to help someone else that wasn't going to hell? You know? So, luckily in Hellenic Polytheism, it's fate doesn't really play a point in the afterlife. It's more of the career and life you have in this life, in the life you have. Like, were they fated to be drunk? Were they fated to work at McDonald's all their life? Were they fated to do this or that? And the way I see the fates in fate is that it's the choices we make that determine where we go. So there is a free will, and the gods know that where we're going to lead, where it's going to end up. So that's kind of how I see fate and free will when it comes to that. And everyone has a different opinion about it. But it's nothing to do about fated to where you're going to be in the afterlife, but where it is in this life. So just to talk about the fates. So the fates are very famous in Greek mythology. They're called the Moirai. So there were three sisters. So you had Clotho, who was the spinner, who spun the thread of life. So when you're born, she's the one that actually spun your life. That would eventually be determined how long you would live. So you had Clotho, the thread who spun the thread of life, then Lachesis, the appointer of lots, who measured it, so what you got in life, and then you had Atropos, who cannot be turned, is what that name means, who would determine when your life would end. And some stories say that even Zeus couldn't change the fates, and some stories say that only Zeus could change a fate, because he would have the ability to save someone's life even when the fates had determined it was their time to die. So that's kind of where I see when it comes to the fates and fate itself, where we even get the word, that everything we do, like what I'm doing right now, isn't necessarily predetermined that I was going to do this, but what I'm doing is going to, at the end of the road, lead to where the gods already know it's going. So that's kind of where I see it. That not that I was born to pick the pagan, even though I'm really thankful for this channel and you guys. But it was my choice to do this. It's my choice to have the career path. It's my choice to pick up the bottle tomorrow and become an alcoholic, or shoot heroin later this afternoon. I don't think it was fate. I think that it was choices that we make, but the guides already know where that road's going to end. Anyway, guys, that's a sticky subject, I know. Anyway, guys, do you believe in fate? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.